Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Faces of Autism, um, where we are an initiative by the University of Waterloo's Big Spoon Little Spoon Club, where we seek to elevate the voices of individuals with autism, their families, and other professionals in the field. Today, we have Shawn Avery joining us to talk about his experiences. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, Shawn?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for this chat, Sarah. So my name is Shawn Avery, and I live with Asperger's, so ASD level one. I'm on the higher functioning range on the spectrum, and I've been advocating for these individuals for almost, and actually this February is going to be 18 years from it.
Wow, that's great. Um, What made you interested in speaking about your experiences as an individual on the spectrum with others? I hear you go to schools and businesses to talk about your experiences.
Yeah, so how that actually all started, the funny story is actually started where I currently work. Um, so I do after school childcare, right? Or before actually, I was first doing after school program care at a school in Keswick, so where I'm from.
Mhm.
And I was sharing my story a little bit to my then boss at the time, and she said, "Wow, Shawn, you have such an amazing story. Thank you for being so vulnerable, sharing about, your Asperger's experience, your bullying to having anxiety at such a young age." So before I actually found out about my diagnosis, I had anxiety since I was like 11 months old.
Mm.
So that was a small example that I gave her. And then she suggested that I try speaking for a non for profit organization called Youth Speak. And little did I was like, okay, this is a cool opportunity, share my story, you know, and also even help even improve my own social skills, even if you think about it as
Hmm.
well. But little did I know, because I was still a bit of no, even though I'm still am, um, I was still a huge introvert that back then. Little did I know that I would probably be speaking to 20 to almost say 1,000 people.
Wow.
And correct me if I'm wrong here, isn't public speaking still the number one fear for most people?
Oh yeah, definitely.
But, the more I showed up and the more I've improved, it's like, nothing beats that in person experience speaking in front of, say, almost 500 to 1,000 people in an assembly. Like when they clap for you or even say hi to you, it's almost one big voice saying hi to you instead of
Hmm.
me having this chat right now. So I still continue. I'm actually still slowly building a brand called Shawn's Talk, which is basically me coming in, sharing my experiences to schools and also parent teacher conferences as well.
It's very nice. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's so true. Like a lot of people would be very nervous speaking in front of such a large audience, myself included. So that's very awesome that you're doing that and you're, you know, spreading awareness about autism.
I'll show you one quick thing.
Yeah.
I was told that I can with my talk
Yeah.
that I do, it really encourages students to be more vulnerable. Like I'll give you an example, like April with it being, because I know October is another autism awareness month.
Hmm.
Um, April being another one too. That was a pretty good month for me. Again, being asked to speak twice in two for two different schools.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One that I did out in North York, there was one guy, I want to say grade 7 or 8, spoke up being super vulnerable about sharing his own experiences. And it brought uh, the whole school, actually, no, his classroom and teachers to tears.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah. Um, is there anything that you wish that people would be more aware of concerning autism?
So for that one there, there's many of things. One, do your research,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's your first time, working or say, coming from a childcare perspective as well. Meet with the parents, come up with a really good plan to keep them in that him or her in that positive routine.
Mm-hmm.
And also to come up with it also too, like from a workplace perspective, again, coming not only do your research on, come up with different strategies to help that individual, but be patient. I mean, a lot of us learn differently,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes even at times be a little slow learners. But in the end, you know, with how much we can take in, we can really surprise you and show you how much we can, why get the job done, and
Mm-hmm.
also too, how much you can make an impact on that individual's life.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah. What are some ways that society can be more inclusive and accommodating for those with autism?
So kind of like what I said before,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's a little similar to that. Again, coming from a social perspective as well, because a lot may find, being involved in a, I'm going to use this as an example. In April, I'm going to see Metallica, right? I'm going to use that
Mm-hmm.
as a quick example.
Mm-hmm.
If you're invited to go to a concert, think about, certain sensory issues that that individual, say 30, 40 years old, might still struggle with.
Right. Yeah.
Um, or even, don't be even afraid to invite them on a, just a little road trip, go see a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that'll
Yeah.
make them feel pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely like have more social experiences with others and a lot of people on the spectrum. My son's on the spectrum himself, and he loves to have friends. He wants to be included, right? A lot of people like they want to be included with their friends, and I think we are doing a good job as a society of being moving toward being more inclusive of different neurotypes and um, yeah, I think what you're doing with speaking at the school assemblies is a great thing. Like especially in those months, like April and October, those are great times for schools to take the time to bring someone in and bring their perspective in. And then, yeah, you get kids in the audience identifying with you. And, that's a really great thing that you're doing, Shawn. And I really appreciate your work.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for coming on and sharing your experiences.
Oh, thank you for the invite.
No problem.